Hey everyone, it's LaShonda from Labors of Love here with another Therapy Thursday. So today I want to talk about discharge. If you've been keeping up with the podcast, I talked about this a little bit, but I also wanted to share for those who haven't heard the podcast. And essentially, discharge, as I'm using it, is an intentional way for us to get things that are inside of us out of us. When we are not intentional about discharging the energetic and emotional things that are happening inside, that stuff doesn't just go anywhere. It doesn't evaporate. What it does is it stays. Sometimes stuff stays in there so long that it starts to find permanent residency inside of our bodies. And so people start to find that, I don't know, for the last 6 months, I've just been having this headache or indigestion or back pain or muscle spasms. And they're trying to figure out, what did I do that's causing this physical manifestation of discomfort or pain? Well, sometimes it's because we didn't properly discharge. So when we go throughout our day, we are building up energetic and emotional charge inside of us. And if we are not intentional about like how I'm going to get that out, then we find that it just keeps building, and building. Sometimes that leads to an eruption. Or sometimes, like I said, it just kind of settles. And so I just wanted to share 4 things that I have given myself, 4 options, I should say, I've given myself to discharge on a daily basis. I know that if I say that I'm going to do anything 7 days straight, 365, I'm setting myself up for failure. So I have to give myself options. And so here are 4 things that I have given myself the option to do on a daily basis that allows me to get not just the things that I collect because of the life I'm living on my own, but in my role as therapist, in my role as a consultant, I take on so much from other people. So one option is I can box. I put a heavy bag in my basement. I get in my stance. I get my gloves on. Jab, jab, cross. I can punch that bag, and that is one way of discharging. It is a very mobile and intense way for me to discharge. But if something happens throughout the day and I don't have the energy or I don't want to box, another option is I create art. I paint. And the act of creating for me isn't as much about what am I going to make, as much as I am saying, hey, these things inside of me, here is an outlet. Release yourself. And it just happens to come out creatively with acrylics and canvas is my chosen medium right now. Another option that I have for myself is writing. I will sit down and I will write. Sometimes that's me saying, I'm going to write a poem. Other times I set a clock, I set an alarm or a timer. I set a timer for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes and I do a fast write. And I say, it doesn't matter sentence structure, grammar, punctuation, just flow out of me. So writing is another option. And then my 4th is I have a foot bath detox machine that pulls the toxins out of my feet or through my feet and makes this nasty brown bubbly, right? But it's so I've really enjoyed being able to detox in that way. So the 4 options that I've given myself, I try to put on a spectrum. It's not always going to be movement based. Sometimes it's going to be, using my mind to to write or my creativity to paint. And sometimes I'm just sitting with my feet in water. But I share that because I believe that if we can be intentional, what can I do to get the things that are in me out of me in a safe and productive way? Then we find that we're not holding on to things or exploding. So, something to think about. If you want to reach out to me, you can find me at www.thelaborsoflove.com. Don't forget, we're on all the major social media outlets, including TikTok now, y'all. Don't forget that we have our YouTube channel where all of our Therapy Thursday videos are housed. And if you haven't already, go ahead and listen, subscribe, and rate our podcast. Until we connect again, you all be well.